There's no doubt that college is a special place. A place to make friends, a place to try new things, a place to become a version of yourself that you never thought was possible, you know? But I think college is also an important place to learn not just about college, but about the world, about society, and about life. So here are all the things college has taught me so far. And I know I'm just a sophomore. Number one is you only have one body. And here's kind of how I started thinking about this. In college, the age ranges that you'll see are extremely different than any other like academic institution, high school, middle school, etc. Because you can go back to school at any time in your life, you'll encounter people from all different walks and time periods of their lives. So someone sitting next to you in class could be 17 or they could be 35. And I'm saying all this to say because through my experiences, I've realized how important it is to take care of your body, guys. If you think about it, this is the same body that you want to carry you on after graduation to your new job, creating your new family. You know, there's so much that you're going to ask this body to do throughout your life. So what are you doing to show it love? And what I realized is that the age number itself does not always connect to the person. The age number itself is not what's important. The 35-year-old who took care of themselves is going to have to convince people that she's not 22, that she actually worked for a long time and then came back to school, and people won't be able to believe her. But the 17-year-old who keeps harming themselves and putting bad things in their body or just entertaining people who always stress them out and stuff like that, those people probably don't get ID'd at parties because they look like they're 21, or probably, you know, are just aging faster than they should. So don't worry or think about aging as in like the number going up. Think about what you're actually doing to your body. Think about that sleep schedule. Think about things like that, you know? There is a common culture of like going out every weekend, which sometimes can mean drinking every weekend, which can mean not getting enough sleep every weekend. And after some time, you guys, that takes a toll on your body. So let this video be a sign to show some extra love to your body today, because you might not notice it now, but in the future, the way you treated yourself will slowly come to light. Number two should have been number one, but it's that lust is not special. Every day, people get into new relationships, new situationships, or, you know, autoships, you know, or they date the next person in the friend group after just having like left the relationship of their friend. I don't know. You guys know what I mean. But sometimes, like if you ask, oh, why are you with them? Why do you like them? The answers be wild. And I've seen this here like on campus. I mean, we see this all the time online too. The girls be saying, oh, he's tall. Oh, he's got dreads. Oh, he's, you know, he got money. And the girls be like, oh, she bad. Oh, blah, 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 right? Sigh. While attraction is important, guys, it is just the cherry on top, if not the least meaningful thing in a relationship. There is love and there is lust, and only one of them is special. Only one of them lasts. Because I think what people don't like to hear is that there is always someone hotter than you. There's always someone taller than you. There's always someone with more money than you. There's always someone with a better body than you, longer dreads, I don't know, whatever it is. There's always someone who got it more than you. So when that happens, then what do? Well, if your relationship was built on love, you know this person so deeply and you love so many things about this person that when another person comes along, it doesn't really matter to you, because that person has to fit so many criterias and so many other things that you love about this person for you to even be tempted. But with lust is when you have to worry about where your man's at, what your man's doing at a party. Lust is when you have to track his location and who they're talking to when you're not there. With love, you don't have to do that. And there's a famous Bible verse that goes, love is patient, love is kind, and all this. It lists all this beautiful stuff. And I highly recommend you guys check it out. But what I've realized is that a lot of these people get into replaceable relationships. When your relationship is built off of lust, it is replaceable, and people replace them all the time, whether it's by cheating or by other stuff that is really messed up and just ends up hurting everyone that's involved. I think we've normalized all the crazy things or toxic things that we do for love, but really you're doing all these things for lust. You're doing all those things for a replaceable relationship. So why do I say special when I'm describing lust? Lust is not special because lust is conditional. They're only with you if you stay fine. They're only with you if you stay rich. They're only with you if that body stay banging. They only with you if you make sure to not shrink your height or whatever. If you stay 6 foot, they're only with you. You know what I mean? That's not special. There's someone else who's also 6 foot. They would easily just get with them. That doesn't feel good, and you don't deserve that. You deserve someone who actually gets to know you, who loves you. So I'm saying all this to say that if you're in a relationship or someone's getting close to you, start showing interest in you, ask yourself, is this lust or is it love? Do they actually know you, or y'all just be chopping it up? Do they spend time with you and just genuinely enjoy your presence, or do they expect something out of it when they spend time with you? Do they want to take pictures with you and like post my man, but like don't actually care about you? Because if the answer to these questions are yes or no, I forgot the questions I asked, but you guys know what I mean. If you start asking these questions and you realize, dang, they really like don't care about me for real, just let it go, because you could easily do all of this to the next person that comes along. So save yourself the energy, the time, and find someone who actually will take the time to get to know you and not like destroy your self-esteem, destroy your confidence, use you, you know. Lustful relationships, they only take, they don't give. It's just two people trying to use the other person and get the most that they can before they move on to the next. Take, and that's not what you deserve. So that's just one thing I've learned and I've seen from relationships, romantic relationships in college. And it's very obvious to tell when a relationship is lustful or when there's actually love there. And love is slow, guys. So don't feel pressure or rush into something. If someone's rushing you into something, it's probably because they just lust you. They don't love you. Number 3 is you don't know these people for real, okay? So this point is just kind of about socializing and making sure to keep boundaries with the people that you're meeting. I think it's easy to like jump into new friendships and new relationships like head first with both feet in, and it's kind of just like you don't know these people for real. You literally just met them, okay? Think about the friends you have back home. Like you've probably known them for like 6, 7 or more years, right? They've been around with you for a long time. You know their family, their siblings, their pet names and stuff like that. But that is not true in college. Unless you went to college with like all of your friends, then things are very different, like community-wise, friend-wise. Things go by really fast in college, and throughout 4 years, you're gonna meet a lot of people very quickly. You'll also spend a lot of time with those people since you practically live with them. So it can be easy to feel really close with them and feel like they're your sister and they're your brother, you know, even though you only known them for 1 or 2 years. So what I realized is that it's very important to let your trust still be earned and give yourself the luxury of slowly getting to know people. You guys don't have to be best friends on the first day. You guys don't have to be couple goals on the first day either. I feel like the beauty of friendship is not to be rushed, and because people are so deep, you know, and like there's so many layers to people, it can be really fun to like take time to hang out, you know, and like feel like they're your best friend because they're actually your best friend and not just because they're always around. And when you do this, you might realize that with some of your friends, you're actually not as compatible as you thought you were. You don't want the same things in life. You're going like in 2 different paths, and then you've saved yourself a lot of misunderstanding. Obviously, you could still be friends with that person, but now you don't have like a false idea of who they are in your head. Like you don't think they're your ride or die when they're really not. You don't think that, you know, you guys are going to be best friends after college when you're really not, you know. Just never assume who someone is, and never just like convince yourself that you guys are closer than you are just because they are always around. And I think that's why people always say like the people around you matter so much, because when someone's always around you, it really affects like the way you move through life, the way what you guys are going towards. So like immediately forming a clique and pigeonholing yourself into this one friend group doesn't really make sense, because you don't know these people. So how do you know what group that you want to be around if you just met them, you know? and you guys could get to know each other more and then realize you are going through the same path and you do want the same things out of life. And now you can begin to like strengthen this lifelong friendship, and you guys can begin to like chase your goals together. You know, it's really different than just pigeonholing yourself into a friend group when you barely even know these people. Like, it doesn't make sense, you know? Now my camera's about to die, which is so rude. And so instead, and in life in general, just always be open to new people and focus on deepening relationships, nurturing relationships that'll actually carry you towards where you want to go in life. My next point is that it is harder to try new things later on in life. The closer I get to adulthood and stuff, the more I realize what a privilege this time period is. Even high school, college, and like up until graduation, there's a lot of things that are different than adulthood. And while I 100% believe that every time period of life is beautiful in its own way, not having to pay bills, you guys, is something I could get used to and wish, that I could do for the rest of my life. Not having to work on the holidays, not having to wake up early to make my kids breakfast. Those are all luxuries that we experience like day to day, even if you're like a recent grad and you're just working and that's it, or you're working from your parents' house, So I say all this to say that this time period is the time to try something new, to shoot for the stars, to just put yourself out there, because as much as social media tells us that like you can do anything whenever, like you can change your life at any point in time, so it doesn't matter what you do or whatever, it does become harder to change your life or to try new things later on. In a recent video that I made, I talked about the 3 things that you need to change your life, and one of them was literally time, you guys, which you simply just get less of as you get older. A typical 9-to-5, cooking, cleaning, and like all these other responsibilities are things that you don't have right now. So use this extra time to invest in your passions, put in those 10,000 hours, or just try something new that you won't be able, that will be harder for you to do later on. That way you won't have as much regret, and you won't be like always asking, what if I did this? What if I did this when you get older, People say, oh, like your young time is time for you to like do whatever you want, which they make it seem like doing whatever you want is making a bunch of dumb decisions, but it is the time to do what you want in terms of what you actually want to do, like chase your dreams, chase your passions. That it is the time to do those things, to do what you want. If you realize, I do have like a lot of time on my hands, try something new, put in work, and see what you can do. If you got real with yourself and asked yourself, what is it that I dream of? What is it that I want to bring to this earth, And lastly, I'm gonna say this forever, but you are not a slave to school. You are not a slave to education. This is coming from someone who literally is sitting in one of the hardest schools to get into and knows very well how easily you can just pigeonhole yourself into work and burnout and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna make a video on this soon because I think this is a very important topic. But if you graduate college and all you've done was gotten perfect grades, perfect GPA, even the perfect job possibly, but nothing else, you will not be satisfied. You didn't join any clubs, you didn't try anything new, you didn't meet anyone new, you didn't talk to people with new experiences. This is what life is all about, and school is a phenomenal place to do all those things. So now you're done with school and you didn't do any of that. And people have external circumstances that prevent them from doing that. Maybe they're working a job, maybe they're taking care of their kids, maybe they're doing a lot of other things. But if you're not doing that, please get out there, you guys. Live life, okay? In high school, I wondered about this too. Obviously, I really wanted to get into a good college, but I often had to pick between like doing extracurriculars or doing perfect on this homework or this exam, and I always picked doing extracurriculars, and look at where I'm at. I'm still here. I was not valedictorian. I was not salutatorian, whatever. I don't even think I was up there, but I didn't get denied from a single college. And I really do think that my extracurricular spoke louder than any exam score or, class or grade that I could have gotten. I did not completely slack off. I worked really, really hard. I did really, really well, but I didn't do perfect. I didn't aim for perfect because perfect is not real. If I never started this YouTube channel, maybe my grades would be a little better. Maybe my grades would be perfect, but I would miss out on so much, you guys. Perfect is not worth it if you are not happy. And I say things like this because I know a lot of kids, especially kids who are aiming at schools like this, like Stanford, go into college or academics in general with a lot of pressure on their backs from their families, from relatives and things like that. But it's still important to remember that you are not a slave to school and that you're the one going to school, not them. You're the one taking these classes, pulling all-nighters and things like that, not them. You know what I mean? You're the one who's going to graduate and your whole college experience is going to be over, not them. You know what I mean? School is simply a method of learning and expanding your network. There are many ways to learn. There are many ways to expand your network. If you choose the route of school, make sure you know that you're more than a number and that you're here to learn, not to compete, but to learn. And there are many ways to do that. A degree is not all that you need, okay? Like, literally think about it. If you were picking people to join your basketball team and there were two people, one person went to basketball school and got like a 4.0 GPA at basketball school. This is an example. I don't even know if there's a basketball school. And then the other person went to basketball school, got like a 3.2, but also volunteered to teach basketball with kids, like met Stephen Curry and worked out with him 1 or 2 times and like did all these other things. You would be much more interested in the person who did all these things. You would forget about the fact that they even didn't do perfect at basketball school, but they have so much other things to bring to the table. And that is what you have. You have so much more to bring to the table than just a degree, a GPA, an SAT score, or, you know, like a grade. So please take it from someone who understands and who has burnt out before. Growing and learning, not a grade or a number, is the ultimate goal. And the more that you forget that, the more that you forget yourself. There is so much that you can accomplish when you realize how special you are and how much you have to bring to the table, okay? So that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please let me know other topics that you want me to talk about. I'm very passionate about academics and things like that. I think school is amazing. It's like a privilege. It's like the biggest privilege ever. A lot of people don't get to go to school, but there's a lot that's not beautiful about the system of school, and it's not an easy journey to take. So hope this video was helpful in any way, shape, or form. Please leave a comment down below, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.